A lonely ship drifted in the darkness of space. Its silver hull reflected the faint light of distant stars as it moved toward a planet that no one dared to visit. The planet was covered in shadows, its surface hidden under storm clouds that never broke. Every galactic map had the same warning carved into its records: forbidden, do not enter. Yet one man had come. The ship shook as it entered the atmosphere. Lightning danced across the clouds, and the engines groaned as if they too feared this world. Inside, the man stood at the control panel, his eyes fixed on the view outside. His face was calm, but his hands trembled slightly. "This is it," he whispered to himself. "The place they all fear." The ship landed with a heavy thud. Dust rose like smoke, wrapping the ship in silence. He lowered the ramp and stepped outside. The air was heavy, colder than space itself. His boots pressed against black soil that shimmered faintly under the dim light. For a moment nothing happened. Then under his feet, strange lines began to glow. Symbols appeared in the dirt, forming a circle around him. The ground pulsed as if it had a heartbeat. He froze. What is this place? The silence was too loud. He could hear his own breathing, the slow thud of his heart. Then, somewhere in the distance, a whisper carried through the air. It was not in any language he knew, but it echoed in his mind like a memory he never had. The man tightened his grip on the scanner in his hand. The device flickered, failing to read anything. "No data," he muttered. "No life sign, no atmosphere readings. It's like this world doesn't exist." He took another step forward. The ground vibrated again. High above him, the clouds shifted, revealing statues carved into the mountainside. They were massive alien figures, their stone eyes locked onto the place where he stood. He felt the weight of their gaze. "You're not real," he said under his breath, trying to calm his nerves. "Just rock, nothing more." But then one statue's eyes glowed faintly. A single beam of light cut through the darkness, landing on him. His heart raced. He stumbled backward, but the beam followed his every move. No, 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 no. He raised his scanner again, pressing the controls desperately. The device sparked and went dead. The whisper returned, louder this time. It swirled around him like wind, tugging at his thoughts. He clutched his helmet, shaking his head. "Stop it! Stop it!" The air shifted. From the dust, something small and metallic rose, half buried under centuries of silence. It was round, sharp-edged, with a single glowing eye at its center. It hovered for a second, then aimed directly at him. His breath caught. "A drone?" The machine hummed, scanning him with a red beam. Symbols flickered across its surface, ancient words that meant nothing to him. He slowly raised his hands. "I don't mean harm," he said, his voice breaking the silence. "I'm just looking." The drone circled him, then stopped in front of his face. Its glowing eye shifted from red to white. For a second it seemed to hesitate. Then, without warning, it shot upward into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. He stood frozen, staring at the empty air. His chest rose and fell quickly. It saw me. It knew me. The ground rumbled again. The glowing circle beneath his boots spread wider, stretching toward the mountains. The alien statues trembled, and a deep sound echoed from the earth. It was not thunder. It was something alive. The man stumbled back toward his ship. His instincts screamed at him to leave, to run, but another part of him whispered to stay. Curiosity burned in his chest. This planet had been forbidden for centuries. Why? What secret was buried here? He stopped halfway to the ramp and looked back. The clouds had parted slightly, showing a glimpse of ruins in the distance. Towers broken, but still glowing faintly with power. A city hidden in the shadows of time. His mouth went dry. This changes everything. He turned away from the ship and began walking toward the ruins. Each step felt heavier, as if the planet itself wanted to hold him back. The whispers grew louder, words forming just enough for him to understand fragments. Not yours. Not human. Leave. He shook his head. No, I came this far. I need to know the truth. As he approached the ruins, he placed his hand against one of the fallen walls. The stone was warm, pulsing faintly like a living thing. Strange carvings ran along its surface, images of war, fire, and beings unlike any life he had seen before. The images ended with a single figure standing alone in the center of destruction. The figure was not alien. It was human. His eyes widened. Impossible. Humans weren't here. We couldn't have been. The ground quaked again, and dust rained down from the broken towers. The whispers rose to a roar. For the first time, he felt fear cut deep into him. Something knew he was here, something ancient. He took a step back, breathing hard. His voice cracked as he whispered into the empty air, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The answer came not in words, but in a wave of sound that shook the ruins around him. The statue's eyes glowed once more, all turning to face him. The man froze, caught between terror and awe. The planet had awakened, and it had noticed him. The ruins stood silent, yet the man could feel eyes on him. The giant statues seemed alive, now their stone faces glowing faintly. He took a slow breath, forcing his legs to move deeper into the broken city. The air was heavy, almost alive. Every sound, the crunch of his boots, the hum of his breathing, echoed like it was being listened to. "Someone is here," he muttered. "I can feel it." He raised his scanner again, but the screen only showed static. No life signs, no readings. It was as if the city erased itself from all technology. A low voice whispered in the wind. It was not human. The words were broken, distorted, but they carried weight. "Watcher. Intruder." The man spun around. "Who said that?" No one stood there. Only shadows stretched long across the cracked stone. His pulse raced. He gripped the small blaster on his belt, even though he doubted it would help. As he walked forward, the ruins changed. Buildings looked shattered from one side, but whole from another. Doorways appeared, then vanished when he blinked. Time itself felt wrong here. He stepped into what looked like a courtyard. In the center stood a circle of pillars, all broken at the top. Strange markings glowed faintly on their surface. He touched one, and the glow spread like fire across the ring. The whispers grew louder. The words became clearer. "You should not be here." His breath caught. "Show yourself." The ground beneath him shifted. Sand and stone slid away, revealing a massive eye carved into the earth itself. It opened slowly, glowing with a golden light that pierced the sky. The man stumbled back, shielding his face. The glow burned into his thoughts. He saw flashes, armies of alien soldiers, cities burning, a sky filled with ships that blotted out the stars. And always at the center of the chaos stood this world. He dropped to his knees, gasping. "What is this place?" The vision ended as quickly as it began. The glow faded, and the ground sealed itself again. The courtyard returned to silence. Then he heard something new, a metallic sound, soft but sharp, like gears turning. He turned and saw it, another drone, but this one was larger, its body black and angular. It floated slowly from behind the pillars, its single red eye fixed on him. The man raised his blaster. "Stay back!" The drone paused. Then, in a voice not mechanical but ancient, it spoke. "You are human." His grip tightened. "Yes, and, who are you?" The drone circled him, scanning with beams of light. "Humans were not meant to come here. This world is forbidden." "Why?" His voice shook, but curiosity overpowered fear. "Oh, what happened here? What are you hiding?" The drone stopped in front of him. Its eye glowed brighter. "The Watchers know. The silence was broken. Your steps have awakened the city." "I don't understand." The drone's voice deepened, almost like many voices speaking as one. This place remembers. It remembers war. It remembers betrayal. It remembers the end. The man swallowed hard. His instincts told him to run, to leave this cursed world behind. But something inside pushed him forward. If it remembers, he said slowly, then it wants me to see. The drone's red eye flickered. Curious, very curious, the others ran, but you remain. Before he could answer, the ground shook violently. Cracks split through the courtyard, and from them rose strange machines, half stone, half metal. They looked like statues, but they moved with slow, heavy steps. The man's eyes widened. Oh no! The machines circled him, glowing symbols carved into their bodies. Each one turned its head toward him, their empty faces filled with silent judgment. He aimed his blaster, but his hand shook. Stay away! The drone floated above. You cannot fight them. They are the silent watchers, guardians of the forbidden. The machines moved closer, their heavy footsteps echoing across the ruins. He backed away until his foot hit the edge of a broken wall. Nowhere to run. Then what do they want from me? He demanded. The drone's eye glowed white now, brighter than before. They want to know why a human has come here. They want to know if you are the one. The one? He repeated, his voice cracking. The one for what? The machine stopped, surrounding him in perfect silence. Then all at once they lowered their heads as if bowing. The man froze. His blaster dropped slightly. What are you doing? The drone's voice was softer now. They bow because they recognize you. They have waited a long time, his heart pounded. That's impossible. I'm just one man. Nothing special. The drone tilted. Perhaps. Or perhaps history begins again. With you. The silence stretched, heavy with meaning. The man looked at the circle of machines, at their glowing bodies, and at the broken city around him. Fear twisted into something else. Responsibility, maybe destiny. He whispered to himself, what have I stepped into? The machines slowly rose again, their glowing eyes never leaving him. The drone hovered closer, its voice echoing in his mind. The forbidden world is awake. You cannot leave now. The Watchers have chosen you. The man staggered back. Chosen? For what? The drone paused, then answered in a tone that chilled him to the bone. For the truth. The ruins trembled again. Light spread across the broken towers, illuminating paths that led deeper into the city. The ground pulsed with energy, guiding him forward. The man looked at the path, then at the Watchers. They waited silently, their stone-like faces unreadable. He felt a knot tighten in his chest. Every step he took from this moment would pull him deeper into a secret older than any empire. A secret that could change everything. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath and whispered, Then show me. The Watchers stepped aside, the path opening before him. The drone floated ahead, leading him deeper into the ruins, and for the first time since landing, the man realized something terrifying. He was not exploring this world. This world was exploring him. The path glowed faintly under his boots, guiding him deeper into the ruins. The giant machines stood motionless behind him, their glowing eyes fading back into silence. Only the small black drone hovered ahead, its single white light leading the way. The man's voice was low, almost a whisper. Why are you showing me this? The drone responded without turning. Because the city remembers. It must show you what was lost. As he walked further, the ruins became stranger. Broken walls floated slightly above the ground, as if gravity had forgotten them. Shattered towers leaned at impossible angles, yet they did not fall. The air shimmered with faint blue currents, making the hairs on his neck rise. He stopped beside a massive archway covered in symbols. His hand brushed across them, and they flared to life with soft light. The symbols formed images, ships in the sky, crowds of tall alien beings, weapons glowing with fire. The man frowned. This was no ordinary city. This was an empire. The drone's voice hummed. Once, yes, the heart of an empire greater than you can imagine. And what happened to it? The ruins groaned, almost as if they didn't like the question. The light faded quickly, leaving only shadows again. The man tightened his jaw. Something destroyed them, didn't it? The drone did not answer. It simply floated forward, and he followed. They entered a wide plaza, larger than any human city square. In the middle stood a structure that had not crumbled, an enormous black tower, smooth and sharp like it had been carved from a single stone. Its surface glowed faintly with red veins of energy. The man whispered, "Still alive." The drone hovered closer to the tower. This place was not destroyed. It was abandoned, left to sleep, until you came. The man circled the tower slowly, his eyes wide. Strange windows glowed with shapes moving inside them, like shadows trapped in glass. He stepped closer, pressing his palm against the cold surface. Instantly, the tower reacted. The veins of red light spread across its surface, pulsing like blood. A deep vibration rolled through the ground. The man stumbled back. "What did I do?" The drone hovered calmly. "You opened it." The ground split open at the tower's base. Stairs unfolded downward, glowing faintly with blue light. The man stared into the dark passage. His gut twisted, but his curiosity was stronger. He muttered, "Every warning said stay away. And here I am, walking straight in." Still, he took the first step. The stairs led him into a vast chamber beneath the city. The walls shimmered with strange crystal panels, each showing fragments of scenes, alien battles, star systems burning, and a weapon so large it blocked out suns. He froze. At one image, it showed a figure standing in the center of chaos, raising a hand. Behind the figure, entire fleets of alien ships fell apart, as if crushed by an unseen force. The figure was not alien. It was human. His breath caught. "No, this can't be. Humans weren't here, not this far from home." The drone hovered at his side. "The city remembers all who touched it. Long ago a human did, and everything changed." He backed away from the glowing wall. "That's impossible. Humanity had no ships, no travel this far. You're lying." The drone's voice deepened. "The city does not lie. It remembers. You are not the first human to stand here." The man shook his head, gripping his hair with both hands. "No, that means everything I know about our history is wrong." Before the drone could respond, the chamber shook violently. Crystals cracked, sending sparks across the floor. A deep roar echoed from somewhere below, shaking the dust from the ceiling. The man braced himself. "What now?" The drone's eye flickered red. "The Guardian stirs." From the far end of the chamber, a massive door slid open. A wave of cold air rushed out, carrying with it a sound like distant thunder. A figure stepped forward, taller than any alien statue he had seen. Its body fused with metal and stone. Its eyes glowed with burning fire, and each step it took made the floor tremble. The man whispered, "What? Are you?" The creature stopped, tilting its head. Then, in a voice that echoed like mountains breaking, it spoke. "Human." The man froze. His blaster shook in his hand. "Stay back. I don't want to fight." The Guardian's burning eyes focused on him. "You are not here to fight. You are here to remember." The man's throat went dry. "Remember what?" The Guardian pointed one massive arm toward the glowing walls. "The truth. This city fell because of power too great to control. A human once touched it, and war followed. The galaxy burned." The man staggered back, his voice breaking. "You mean one of us caused all of this?" "The Guardian stepped closer, its voice growing colder. Yes, and now another has come. You. The man shook his head violently. No, I'm nothing like them. I didn't come here to destroy. The Guardian loomed over him. Intentions mean nothing. The city has chosen you, and once chosen, there is no escape. The man raised his blaster, though he knew it was useless. If I'm chosen, then what happens now? The Guardian's eyes dimmed slightly. For a moment, silence filled the chamber. Then it spoke again, softer this time. Now, you must decide. Will you walk deeper to the heart of the city, or will you flee and let the galaxy burn again without your hand to guide it? The words echoed like thunder in his chest. He lowered the blaster slowly, his mind racing. Behind him, the stairs back to the surface seemed small, almost meaningless. Ahead, the glowing chamber stretched deeper into shadows. His voice shook as he whispered, I never asked for this. The drone hovered beside him. No one ever does. The Guardian lowered its head, its massive body still as stone. The choice was his. The man looked between the path back and the darkness ahead. His heart pounded, fear fighting against something stronger, curiosity, maybe destiny. He took a slow breath. Then he stepped forward, deeper into the shadows. You. Guardian's eyes flared bright, and the city seemed to awaken again, humming with power. The drone's voice whispered in his ear like a warning. Now, history will remember you. The air inside the chamber grew heavy, almost pressing against his chest. The man felt every beat of his heart echo through the silent ruins. The Guardian towered above him, its burning eyes locked on his small human frame. He swallowed hard. Why me? Out of all species in the galaxy, why would this place choose me? The Guardian tilted its head, stone and metal grinding together with a deep rumble. Because you are human, because history repeats. I don't even know what that means, his voice cracked, echoing off the glowing walls. I'm not a soldier, I'm not a leader. I'm just a man who landed where I shouldn't have. The drone hovered closer, its voice calm. And yet you are here. The city does not awaken for accidents. The man clenched his fists, frustration boiling. You think I wanted this? I only came because I was curious. Now you talk about destiny, as if I have some role to play in your old war. The Guardian's burning eyes dimmed slightly. Curiosity is why the first human came. And curiosity is why they unleashed fire across the stars. His breath caught. The first human... Who were they? The Guardian leaned forward, its voice dropping to a whisper that filled the chamber like a storm. A wanderer, like you. They touched the heart of the city. They awoke the machine buried here, and when they left, they carried knowledge not meant for mortals. The galaxy drowned in war. The man's stomach twisted. So you're saying I could make the same mistake? The drone answered before the Guardian could. Not could. Will. Unless you learn. He shook his head in disbelief. And if I refuse? If I turn back now? The Guardian straightened, its massive form shaking dust from the ceiling. Then the Watchers will erase you. This city does not allow weakness. You walk forward or you end here. The man's eyes flicked to the stairs behind him, faint light, marking the way back. But deep down, he knew the Guardian spoke truth. The way back no longer belonged to him. The city had claimed him. He forced himself to breathe slowly, steadying his voice. Then show me. Show me why this world is forbidden. The Guardian's fiery eyes flared, and the ground beneath them shifted. The floor split apart, opening a wide circular platform. Strange energy lifted him and the drone onto it. With a low hum, the platform began to descend, taking them deeper into the world's core. The man gripped the edge tightly. Where are you taking me? To the heart, the Guardian said. To the memory of destruction. The platform stopped. In a cavern larger than any city, towers of crystal stretched upward, glowing with shifting colors. Streams of energy pulsed like rivers through the air. At the center stood a colossal sphere, half machine, half living light, its surface swirling with storm-like patterns. The man's jaw dropped. "What is that?" The Guardian's voice was reverent, almost like prayer. "The core, the last weapon of the ancients, a machine that rewrites the fate of stars." The man took a step back. "A weapon? You mean this? A thing destroyed your empire?" The Guardian shook its massive head. "Not the core, the one who used it. Power is not evil. Hands make it so." The man's voice dropped to a whisper. "And you think my hands are next?" The drone floated closer to the core, its light reflecting off the swirling patterns. "It responds to you. Already it feels your presence. It waits for your command." The man laughed bitterly, though fear edged his voice. "Command? I can't even command my own fear right now." The core pulsed suddenly, sending waves of energy across the cavern. Images flashed in his mind, entire planets burning, fleets tearing each other apart, voices screaming in alien tongues. Then just as quickly, the visions shifted. Worlds healed, peace spreading like light, endless possibilities of creation instead of destruction. He fell to his knees, clutching his head. "Stop! I can't see all of this." The Guardian's voice thundered. "Now you understand the choice, fire or peace, destruction or creation. Your kind was given this choice once before. They chose wrong." The man looked up at the glowing sphere, sweat dripping down his face. "And you think I'll do better?" The Guardian lowered its massive body until its burning eyes were level with him. "We do not think. We wait. The city chose you. The core listens only to you now." The drone circled him slowly. "No empire can claim it. No alien can control it. Only human hands." His throat tightened. "Why humans? Why us?" The Guardian paused, its voice deep and heavy. "Because your kind hungers for more. Where others obey, you question. Where others fear, you step forward. That is why you destroy. And that is why you create." The words cut deep into him. He wanted to deny them, but part of him knew they were true. Humans had always pushed further, always broken rules, always reached where they weren't meant to. That's what brought him here. He whispered, "If I touch that, there's no going back, is there?" The drone's white eye glowed. "No. Once awakened, the core changes everything." The cavern fell silent, except for the low hum of the core. The man stared at it, his thoughts tangled between fear and destiny. He could feel it pulling him, calling him, as if the sphere already knew his decision. Finally, he stood. His voice trembled but carried a strange strength. "Then I'll go to it. I'll see for myself." The Guardian stepped aside, massive arms lowering like gates opening. The drone hovered back, watching silently. The man walked slowly toward the core, each step heavier than the last. The air grew warmer, brighter, alive with unseen energy. His fingertips tingled, his vision blurred, but he kept moving. At last, he reached out his hand. His palm hovered just inches from the swirling surface of the core. The light shifted, swirling faster, as if it were breathing with him. He whispered, "What are you hiding from me?" The core pulsed, and the cavern filled with light so blinding it erased all shadows, and in that light a voice, not alien, not mechanical, but human, whispered into his mind, "We have been waiting for you." The light from the core surrounded him, burning into every corner of his mind. His knees shook as he tried to steady himself, one hand stretched toward the swirling surface. The voice he had heard still echoed inside his head, a voice that was human. He pulled his hand back suddenly, gasping for air. "No, that's not possible. There can't be a human voice here. This place is older than us." The drone hovered, near his shoulder, its white eye pulsing. "You heard it. The core remembers. It carries voices of all who touched it. You are not the first." The Guardian's massive form shifted, stone grinding on stone. You stand where another human once stood. They reached for the core and chose fire. The man's heart pounded. He stared at the swirling sphere, feeling its pull like gravity. "And you expect me to choose differently?" The Guardian's burning eyes dimmed. "Expect? No, we only wait. The choice is yours, human." The man shook his head, stepping back. "You say choice, but it feels like a trap. If I touch it, I change everything. If I walk away, you erase me." The drone's voice was calm, almost cold. "Every choice changes everything. The question is, will you guide the future or leave it to others?" He turned sharply toward it. "Guide the future. I'm just one man. I don't have the right to decide the fate of galaxies." The core pulsed again, its light flashing across the cavern. For a moment he saw visions, alien fleets rising from darkness, entire worlds bowing to a single power, humanity's flag burning in the skies of countless planets. Then the image shifted. Peaceful colonies, humans and aliens working. Side by side, cities built in harmony under a shared sun. Two futures. Both impossible, both waiting for his hand. He fell to his knees, pressing his hands against his head. "Why me? Why not anyone else?" The Guardian's deep voice shook the chamber. "Because no other species can. The core responds only to you. It is the curse and gift of your kind." The man looked up slowly, his face pale. "So if I choose wrong, if I make the same mistake as the first human—" The drone finished his thought. Then the galaxy burns again. The silence that followed pressed on his chest. He felt small, weaker than he had ever felt. But he also felt the pull of the core, calling him forward. He whispered to himself, "Maybe it isn't about what I want. Maybe it's about what I'm willing to risk." He stood, shaky but firm. "If I do this, if I touch the core, what happens?" The drone circled him. "It will obey. It will show you paths of creation and destruction. You will command its will." The Guardian lowered its head. "But once awakened, it cannot sleep again. Your choice will echo forever." The man walked closer to the core, his hand trembling. He stopped just short of touching it. "What if I try to destroy it? To end this power so no one can ever use it again?" The Guardian's voice was like thunder. "Many tried, all failed. The core cannot be destroyed. It can only be guided." His voice cracked with desperation. "Then how do I make the right choice?" The core pulsed in response, filling his mind with whispers. He heard laughter, cries, screams, songs, countless voices, alien and human, all layered into one storm of sound. He saw civilizations rise and fall, stars born and stars dying, choices repeated again and again. Then, in the middle of the storm, he heard a single clear voice, his own. "Do not fear the choice. Fear doing nothing." His heart raced. He didn't know if the core was speaking or if it was only his mind reflected back at him. But the words felt true. He clenched his jaw, sweat dripping down his face. "All right then, if I must choose, I'll choose." The drone's light flickered quickly, as if excited. "Then step forward." He placed his hand against the core. The cavern exploded with light, a storm of energy rushing into him. His body shook as if lightning poured through every vein. He screamed, but the sound was drowned out by the roar of the core. Visions filled his mind, sharper than before. He saw alien leaders gathered at their thrones, staring in fear as the core's light spread across the stars. He saw human fleets rising stronger than ever, their ships glowing with power drawn from this forbidden world. He saw peace, war, unity, chaos all at once. The core spoke in countless voices at once. "Guide us." His eyes burned with tears. "No, I won't be your weapon." The core's light pulsed brighter. "Then be their shield." He gasped for air, his knees buckling under the pressure. Images swirled, burning skies, healed worlds, endless choices stretching before him like paths in the dark. He knew one. In thing now, whatever he decided, the galaxy would feel it. The Guardian's voice rumbled faintly through the storm. Choose, human. Will you light the fire or protect against it? The man's hand trembled against the core. He looked into its swirling surface, into the storm of futures, and whispered with every ounce of strength he had left, "I choose." The light consumed everything. The cavern shook, the core roared, and the echoes of his choice rushed outward into the stars. The light faded slowly, leaving the cavern in a heavy silence. The man collapsed to the ground, gasping for air, his hand still glowing faintly from the core's touch. His body trembled, but his mind felt strangely clear. He had chosen. The Guardian's massive frame bent low, its burning eyes fixed on him. It is done. The core has accepted. The drone hovered closer, its voice sharp. What path did you set? What will rise from your choice? The man pushed himself onto one knee, his chest heaving. Not war, not domination. I chose to shield, to protect. The core pulsed weakly, as if echoing his words. For the first time, the swirling surface calmed, glowing with a soft golden light instead of violent storms. The drone's eye blinked rapidly. Impossible. No human before you ever denied power. They all sought control. He let out a bitter laugh, coughing. Maybe that's why they failed. Maybe power was never the answer. The Guardian's stone body shifted, releasing a deep groan. You carry a burden greater than empires. To shield is not to rule, it is to suffer for all. The man stared at the core, his voice steady but quiet. If that's the cost, then I'll pay it. No one else should. The drone circled him like a hawk. You do not understand what you have unleashed. The core will not only follow you, it will change you. He looked down at his trembling hands. Faint lines of light ran beneath his skin, glowing like rivers of fire. His heart skipped a beat. Then it's already begun. The cavern shook, dust falling from the high ceiling. The core pulsed again, brighter than before, and then its light shot upward like a beacon piercing the surface. The entire planet trembled as if it had awoken from a long sleep. The drone's voice grew tense. The signal is sent. Every empire, every fleet. They will come. They will know the core lives again. The man stood slowly, his voice hardening. Let them come. If they want to fight for it, they'll have to go through me. The Guardian's glowing eyes dimmed with something almost like respect. Your choice echoes across time. The first human brought fire. You bring sacrifice. The man looked at the core one last time. This isn't just about humans anymore. It's about everyone. If I can stop one war, one planet from burning, then it's worth it. The drone's tone turned colder. And what if they call you tyrant? What if they see your shield as a cage? His jaw tightened. Then I'll live with their hate. Better that than their ashes. The core flared once more, and suddenly the man felt his mind stretch far beyond the cavern. He could see stars, fleets moving like shadows across the void, whispers of fear and hope spreading through the galaxy. For the first time he understood. The core was not only a weapon, it was a voice, and now it spoke through him. He staggered back, clutching his head. I can hear them, worlds crying out, empires plotting, children laughing under strange suns. It's all in here. The Guardian's voice was low. Then you are bound. You are the shield of the stars. The drone's tone sharpened. But for how long? Flesh is weak. Can you endure the weight of galaxies? The man closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. I don't know, but I'll try. That's all anyone can do. The cavern walls cracked, light spilling from the fractures. The forbidden world itself seemed to awaken, its silence broken after countless ages. Far above, ships across the galaxy were already turning toward the signal, racing to claim what had been hidden. The drone hovered close, almost whispering. They will come for you. Aliens, humans, everyone. And when they arrive, they will not see a shield. They will see power. He opened his eyes, now glowing faintly with the core's golden light. Then let them see. Let them fear it if they must, but they'll learn. It won't be used to burn worlds again. The Guardian straightened, its massive form shaking the ground. You have changed history, human. The core sleeps no longer, and neither will you. The man turned toward the passage that led back to his ship. Each step felt heavier, as if the core's weight followed him. But there was also strength flowing through his veins, steadying his resolve. As he walked away, the drone's voice echoed after him. Remember this, every shield can break, and when it does, the galaxy will demand another choice. He paused at the entrance, looking back one last time. The cavern glowed with the core's soft light, a reminder of what he had awakened. His voice was quiet, but firm. Then I'll be ready. I won't run. Not now, not ever. The surface of the world cracked open as he emerged, the golden beacon still firing into the sky. His ship waited, trembling under the quake. He climbed aboard, his hands steady on the controls, though his chest was still tight with fear. He whispered to himself as the engines roared to life. The galaxy thinks it's coming for the core. They don't know it's coming for me. The ship lifted, rising through storms of dust and fire, breaking free into the stars. Behind him, the forbidden world burned like a sun, its signal reaching every corner of space. For the first time he felt truly alone, and yet not alone at all. The weight of countless lives pressed on him, but so did their hope. As the stars stretched before him, his eyes burned with golden light. History had turned, not with war, not with fire, but with a man who chose to be a shield, and from that moment on, nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again.